911, what is the location of your emergency?
This has started an incomplete call. Call taker heard. Caller yelling for help. Unknown circumstances.
Take a deep breath for me, okay? Help is on the way.
1 Charles 35, I copy. Units to start code 3 to 1 Charles 35. Sergeant to copy. Units for you.
You're listening to the Raspy Dispatcher. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Raspy Dispatcher. My name is Ashley, currently a dispatcher out of the state of California, and today we're going to take a moment to talk about a much-needed topic, wellness, specifically wellness in dispatch. And joining me today for that conversation is the wellness expert herself, Luz Martinez. Hello.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Really delighted that we're talking about wellness. And
I am too.
Also that you called me the wellness expert herself.
Well, the name on Instagram is Dispatch Wellness. So I would say that you definitely are the expert.
And it is the love of my life. So yeah, it's an honor that you call me that. Yes. Thank you. Very generous.
You are most welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Luz Martinez, and I'm a dispatcher for 11 or 12 years now. I need to check my calendar. I keep putting it off. But yeah, so over 11 years, I'm based out of LA County. And I'm also a nutrition coach and a yoga, mindfulness, and meditation teacher. So that's
very
me.
Cool.
Yeah.
So were you into like wellness and yoga prior to dispatching, or did this job kind of steer you to wanting to know more about wellness and how to help ourselves?
So both, really. I think it's a really lovely combination of both. I have always been interested in wellness and self-care and practices like yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. I got really into these practices when I was going through a difficult time in my life about 9 years ago. And I really got into yoga. And then I decided I wanted to start training so I could be a teacher. And just one thing led to another. And maybe late last year, it just occurred to me that, oh my goodness, I'm learning all these things and they've benefited me so much in my job as a dispatcher and as a human outside of the job. Also, still though, as a dispatcher, I want to share this. I want to share this with every single person I can. So both those things.
Definitely. And how did you get into dispatch? Was it planned or did you stumble into it? I found that a lot of people are, hard one way or the other. They're either, destined for it or kind of like stumbled into the job.
Really? I have met very few people that are dispatchers because that's what they wanted to be. I think most the people I've encountered are, they fall into dispatching and then fall in love with the profession. They realize it's for them. And that's my case for sure. I was going to get married in 2007 and wanted a steady job. So I applied to be a records clerk and I started in police records and loved it. It was great, but we worked in a tiny little building, and shout out to all records personnel. They worked tirelessly. Yes. Mm-hmm. So big shout out to them. I would walk to the kitchen for coffee, and I love coffee. It's my life. And so I would walk to the kitchen a lot. And I'd walk by the dispatch center at that time. And that station, you'd walk by the dispatch center and I would see dispatchers buzzing, like, the buzz, the energetic field is different in the dispatch center. And I was just really attracted to it. I would watch them. What are they doing? Who are they talking to? I was just really attracted to it. And so after being in records, I transitioned to dispatch, and I wasn't wrong, right? There is a lot of energy. It's very intense.
Definitely. I mean, there's never a dull moment in dispatch.
No, there isn't. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome.
But wait, how about you?
Oh, a hard stumble. I got my bachelor's and my master's degree in criminal justice. I always knew I wanted to go into the field. Um, I played basketball in college, so I spent a lot of my years after graduating coaching basketball and finding jobs that would allow me to get paid enough and coach a majority of the time that would work with that. So I did a lot of social work and case management because I could work my schedule around my games and my practices. And then one day I was like, I love coaching, but I kind of think it's time that I see what these degrees do, what this career field that I've been interested in since I was young has to offer. And I applied for dispatch, and they were the first to hire me. So I've been doing that for over 2 years now. So definitely new school to, your 11-year old school in this game.
Well, it's all relative. 2
Oh,
years,
yeah.
you've been a dispatcher, and I talk to dispatchers who've been dispatching 20 something years, and that's how
Yeah.
I feel. It's like I know nothing.
Yeah.
So the good thing, the good thing is that we're always learning, and that's a really cool thing about our job is it's ever changing, and we change with it. And I think that's really good. It's really good for our brain, our cognitive functions, and just in general. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I mean, you definitely learn something new every day. I mean, someone will call with a question and you're just like,
mhm.
haven't got that one before. Let me find out for you. Stand by.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me 1 second while I find out for you. Yeah. It's good. Yes, we learned.
Yeah.
I was just learning about drones the other day. Lots of
Drones is
questions
like
about
the
drones.
new thing right now. Like every department is busting out drones. It's like the new thing right now.
Yeah.
But one thing that I think is relative in regards to wellness is when I was going through academy, they had a whole section about wellness, peer support, even, ergonomics, making sure you're sitting right. And I
Mhm.
remember thinking to myself, like, it's this is going to be, this isn't that important. Like, this is silly that we're spending this time on this. But after doing the job and feeling the toll that it can take on you and the constant toll, I realize now, like, whoa, like this really is important, and it is something we should be mindful of and something we should figure out what works for each of us, because each of us are extremely different of how we respond to critical incidents, how we deal with continued exposure to things necessarily regular everyday people don't experience in their line of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a subject of its own, right? Dispatching, and wellness is no different. Wellness for dispatchers is a topic of its own because we do face stress every day. No doubt about it. For the most part, I don't think any of us go into work and never experience any stress as dispatchers. It's very rare and just not something I see from dispatchers at all. So yeah, it does. The thing about stress is it's cumulative, right? And so if you're a dispatcher for 2 years, you've accumulated that. And if you're a dispatcher for 5, you've accumulated that. But the good news is that we can use certain tools like mindfulness or meditation or yoga or whatever you find works for you to kind of offset how much that taxes your body. And that's what I'm so passionate about, is that being a dispatcher doesn't have to mean being burned out. It can be alleviated by certain practices. But yes, it's a real thing. And I'm so glad to hear that in your academy, they were talking about it. That's amazing. I think more and more we're talking about it because more and more we know the effects of the job. Yeah,
Definitely.
So happy to see it. The conversation just really flourish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, here we are bringing the conversation up again.
Yes, I will talk about it all day long, literally, if people
So,
let me.
well, I will definitely let you.
Thank you.
So for someone who's just looking into getting into wellness, figuring out what works for them, what do you have to offer? What do you suggest them to where to start? Like, what's a good starting point for someone looking to learn more about wellness?
That's a hefty question, right? Because every person is unique, and wellness will ultimately be something different or have a different flavor for each individual. But if I were to suggest something, just my path started with yoga. I was attracted to yoga. Something in me was attracted to the practice. And I would say follow whatever you're attracted to. If you're going to start something, Google. I love Google. We were talking about this the other day. You and I. Google. We're both Googlers.
Google University.
You don't have to find it through me. Of course, I would love if you come to my resources and they help you. That's what it's all about. If I could help one person or one person find one thing that's useful, my work is more than done. But just really sit and think of like, what is it that I'm feeling? What do I want to work on? If it's nutrition, then maybe your health insurance offers something, or you could look for books that you might be attracted to. If it's movement, start small. That's the biggest thing, is start really small. Take really tiny baby steps, gentle walks, and whatever exercise you're attracted to. If that's cycling, look into that. And I think trial and error really goes a long way, and finding things that nurture us and feel really good to us is really important, because why tax our body more? We just discussed, like, the job is taxing, it's stressful. Why go outside and do something that might add more stress? I was talking to a friend the other day, and for the longest time, I thought I had to be a runner because other people were running, right? But I don't, and I respect runners, and I don't know how you do it. But just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean that's your thing. You have to try it. And of course, there's going to be effort required, but see how it feels to you. So I guess my advice would be start small and start with things that sound interesting to you, or for some reason you feel attracted to, or you're like, oh, that sounds interesting, I want to try it out. So follow your curiosity.
Definitely. No, that's really good advice. I would love to be a runner, but basketball is an indoor sport. I can only run as far as the wall, which I appreciate because I was never a runner. I love the idea of it. You can get a mile, maybe two out of me, maybe, but I totally get that. I would love to be a runner, but I'm just not, and that's okay. So I definitely agree with what fits and what suits you, and what makes you want to get up and go do those things. Because if you hate running, you're not going to get up and do it, or you're not going to be happy about getting up and doing it.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're not always going to feel like doing it. So if it's something that we're not enjoying, at least to a certain amount, like, that's going to make it that much harder. So why make things harder for ourselves voluntarily?
Yeah, exactly. So I mentioned your Instagram page. If you guys don't follow Luz, make sure to go follow her now. Dispatch Wellness on Instagram. Her website is dispatchwellness.com. And did you want to tell us a little bit about what you got going on over there at Dispatch Wellness?
Yeah. So today we did lots of dispatchers from all over the country joined. I do pop-up dispatcher coffee and mindfulness, where we join via Zoom and we do a short mindfulness exercise. And then we just talk to each other. We talk about what's stressing us out and what's helping us deal with stress. And it's just a really great way to come together and see other faces that are also fellow dispatchers and also in the situation we're all in, which is pretty stressful. And you're pulling up the flyer. So it's pop-up dates for dispatcher coffee and mindfulness. And you could stay informed of the dates by visiting social media. Facebook or Instagram is Dispatch Wellness, or going to the website, which is dispatchwellness.com. Or you could email me at info@dispatchwellness.com and ask to be on the list if you want to stay informed of the dates. It's a really beautiful space to come together. I enjoy it so much. And we drink coffee together. So it's fantastic. It's a dream come true.
Definitely. I have not had the opportunity. I work graveyard and my schedule is all over the place. But we were talking about before we got on here, I'm going to join in on that as soon as my schedule allows. Because it's definitely, I think a lot of dispatchers are looking for community and looking for to relate to someone who goes through similar things as dispatchers, as first responders do. Not everyone is with someone that has a relationship with someone who is in the field, and sometimes there's just a disconnect in how real this role in emergency services is. And of course, the debate about if dispatchers are first responders or not is a big topic, especially in California right now. So being able to connect with people who understand the struggles and the trauma, and even the funny stuff, the darker sense of humor that dispatchers tend to have because of what we deal with in our roles is important. And super excited that you're offering that space for dispatchers to connect in.
Yeah. It really made me think when you're saying these things of having someone that can understand the good, the bad, the funny, and the not, the neutral is community. It's community. And one of the teachers that I follow for meditation, his name is Oren J. Sofer. If anyone wants to go check him out, he's wonderful and his work is great. And I consider him one of the teachers I look up to. He says, 2 of the most protective experiences against burnout are social connection and meaning. And I find that so powerful. It's the basis of the work I do, because social connection can give us meaning. And I think of social connection as I've experienced it, which is to come together for the sad and the happy, to celebrate and to grieve. And so I think the space of dispatcher coffee and mindfulness allows that opportunity. So I think it's a great space. And also it could springboard for other people creating spaces like this for dispatchers to come together and form that community and protect themselves from burnout. And you were saying that, so are we we are first responders. We are. And AB 1945 is going to be signed by the governor here shortly.
Yes.
So that is not a debate. We are first responders.
Yes.
Yes, that is, at least not in my mind, it's not a debate at all. And AB 1945, really, really proves that. And I'm so delighted. I'm over the moon. I'm still celebrating.
Seriously. I know a couple of states have already pushed their respected bills through. So it's exciting that it's coming to California and that we're going to, fingers crossed, get that recognition sooner than later.
Yeah. And recognize each other as that, right? Knowing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons that I started, doing all this is that I went through school, essentially 6 years of education, higher education, in regards to the criminal justice system. I've had every type of professor with, I've had an assistant warden, former assistant warden as a professor, patrol, sergeants, probation, you name it. And when I became a dispatcher, looking back at all of my education, I couldn't recall dispatch being brought up, mentioned, or associated as a essential role that needs to be filled in policing. I'm a police dispatcher. I don't dispatch medical or anything like that. So in policing specifically in my case, and I felt that was a real disservice after being in this profession for so long, because literally nothing starts without being reported, whether it's an officer coming up on air, having it on viewing a call, or a citizen coming, calling 911 or a non-emergency line to report something happening. It all starts with dispatch. So I felt that I could do my part in getting the job out there and, getting the information to those who are interested in it, so we can build that community and have more people interested in becoming dispatchers. And so we're not stumbling, more so, people are going to school with the intent, or, graduating high school with the intent to be a dispatcher because they've heard how cool it is.
I like your vision. I like it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think stumble is a bad thing necessarily.
No, not at
but
all.
no, but I like what you're saying, and I think I recognize that, right? When I reached out to you and we started connecting, was that you want, as I do, and as many of us have started to do, is create awareness around such an important job, and really beautiful job, a really beautiful profession, although very stressful and can be taxing.
Yeah, definitely. So you offer the coffee and mindfulness. What can someone look to expect when working with dispatch wellness in a small group setting or a one-on-one setting? What are the things that you have to offer?
Thank you for asking that, because I am about to start small group nutrition and mindfulness coaching here coming up. The week of September 13th. There's still a couple spots available, and I'm really excited. I hope people that join are as excited as I am. And what you can expect from working with me in a small group is the advantages of coaching, because what research shows us is that we don't not do the things that help us because we don't know about them for the most part. Knowledge is key, of course. We need to learn about things, but then we have to take action, right? Most of us know exercising is really good for us. And still, it is hard to execute. And just the sheer knowledge of knowing exercise is good for us is not going to give us the benefits of actually executing and exercising in whatever way that feels good to you. So the purpose of coaching is having accountability and having a group of support to execute, to do it. And of course, there will be knowledge involved, and there will be learning about things or refreshing about things. But the most important aspect about small group nutrition and mindfulness coaching is the community, is the support from me and from the other people in the group. We'll have a Facebook group just for the work, and there'll be twice a month check-ins via Zoom and email contact, a lot of email contact with me. Yeah, accountability. It's just really executing these really good things for us. In this case, in regards to nutrition, eating the appropriate nutrients that we need, not eating as much for a stress coping mechanism. And that's where mindfulness comes in. We learn practices to replace perhaps dysregulated eating that we've developed, and we all have developed. So
Definitely.
yeah, that's in small group. And then one-on-one, it's just completely tailored to the person. I love one-on-one, but I'm really, really, really excited about small group nutrition and coaching, because I love community, and that's what this is about too. Yeah.
Definitely. Nutrition, I agree, it's huge in our profession. We are sitting or standing 8 to 12 to 14 hours a day. And I do agree. I know I gained some weight starting working here, just because you're adapting, especially if you're working a graveyard shift, learning how to eat on a weird schedule instead of like a day shift routine. Um, so I think educating on nutrition in this field is needed, because I know every comm center has some type of snack situation set up, where we had one called Comco where you put $1 in and we'd all buy snacks and they'd be there throughout the shift when you get hungry, things like that. And when those are set up, it's typically not the healthy snack options. It's more just it's there, I'm gonna eat it type of thing. So being aware of nutrition, especially in this field, I think is going to be very helpful.
Yeah. And beyond being aware, like actually taking small action. So I will say the small group nutrition and mindfulness coaching is a 1-year plan, and which I understand people are like, what? I want it right now. And we all do. I do too. But it will be gentle. I want us to be really gentle on ourselves, because I'm a dispatcher. We don't need to add shoulds and more stress to our lives, but we do need to make incremental, consistent actions. We do need to take incremental, consistent actions towards our goals, be it weight loss, which it can be a metric, but it's not all about weight loss. It's about how we feel, right? And is our nutrition supporting us? Is it giving us the energy we want and need? Is it allowing us to do the things we want to do, the things we need to do? And I'm not dissing on snacks. Snacks are great. And I love snacks too, but can we make better selections? We'll be discussing that. Can we choose better carbohydrates that last longer, that fuel us longer, and don't necessarily make us crash, right? And there'll still be space for the occasional treat. So not to sing on those either.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Graveyard is a whole new beast. They have treats that I've never had before.
What kind of treats do they have? What are you talking about? Tell me.
They have, they call it a dump cake. I think that's what it's called. No idea.
Never heard of it.
Oh, I didn't either until Graveyard. They were like, "You want a dump cake?" I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll take one." And they brought, oh my, it's heaven. I'm gonna find out what it's. I'm gonna message you later and find out what's about. But it has like ice cream on it. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's so good. No idea what's in it. I don't do the cooking or the baking for that, but I sure take a slice every time they make it.
Interesting. I've never heard of a dump cake. But dump cake. Yeah, you'll send me a message. You'll let me know what it is.
Definitely will. And for all those who are like now wondering, I'll put it on the comments when I find out.
Make it a link. Resource notes.
Interest.
And we will eat it.
Dump cake.
As a treat.
On our next show.
As a treat. Yeah.
Our dump cake.
Yeah.
One thing I talked to you about wanting to do with you, just so I can experience it in those who are interested in diving into wellness, in general wellness with you, is trying out a meditation with you. If you would be interested, down for that, I would love to try that out with you.
I would love to do that. Right. Yes, let's do it. Should we do it now?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, let's get settled. And that's why you're seeing me move, because I'm like, should we do it now? I want to do it now. Let's do it now. Yeah. So if you're sitting, bring your feet on the ground. You can also do sitting on the floor with your legs crossed or your legs stretched out. You can be standing. You could also be walking. So meditation, typically we think of someone on a cushion in like an position, and that's great. That is an option, but it's not the only option. Most importantly, especially in my opinion, is that our body feels supported and comfortable. So if you have any mobility limitations, just make sure that you're accommodating your body. If you're sitting with your feet on the ground, just begin by bringing all your awareness to your feet, maybe wiggling your toes in your shoes, or if you're not wearing shoes, more freely perhaps. And just really grounding your toes, lifting them and bringing them down. Grounding. Feeling that connection to the floor. Now feel the connection of whatever you're sitting on. The chair, the sofa. Or if you're standing, just knowing you're standing. Is the surface hard or soft? Are you leaning forward or backward? So maybe if you're sitting, and this is good if you're standing, to rock forward and backward. And just find center. Some of us lean forward. That's definitely my tendency. Some of us have the opposite tendency. Maybe we lean back. Really root through your sits bones. And make sure you're evenly seated. Bring that energy from where you're sitting up into your belly, up into your spine, maybe finding a little extra length in your spine. Rolling your shoulders back. Maybe with your hands. I love doing this, and I do it without even saying it, but roll your shoulders back, and maybe with your hands, just relax. Encourage your shoulders to relax away from your ears. Breathing normally. Letting your breath be natural. Keep that length coming up to your neck. Imagine that someone's pulling you with a string from the top of your head. And now that we're situated, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, imagine you're softening your body. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine you're relaxing any spot that you feel tense. Take another deep breath in, the deepest breath of the day. And as you exhale, just be aware of your sitting or your standing, or whatever position you're in. Now to begin the body scan. We'll be doing a body scan meditation. You could have your hands facing up on your lap, facing down on your belly, wherever they feel good. You close your eyes or not. Whatever feels most comfortable to you. And just bring all your awareness to the top of your head, your scalp. Begin by exploring your scalp, your breathing naturally, just giving all your attention to your scalp. Noticing any tingling or warmth, or perhaps absence of sensation on your scalp. Now bringing all your awareness to your forehead, your eyebrow bones. Your eyes are closed. Roll your eyes around. Bring all your awareness to your cheekbones. Imagine softening the muscles around your eyes, which often hold tension. Your mind wanders. Just bring your attention back whenever you notice it has wandered. The mind will wander. It's conditioning. So here we practice bringing our attention back to the practice. Bring all your attention to your cheeks. Imagine they're melting with softness. Feel your lips. Any sensations in your lips. Bring the awareness down your neck. Into your collarbones, spread through your collarbones, and a little more space there. Down your chest, into your belly. noticing how your belly rises and falls with every breath. Bring your awareness down into your pelvis. Imagining you soften any tension in your pelvis, any gripping. Bring your awareness to the tops of your thighs. Just notice any sensations there. Notice the bottom of your thighs. If you're sitting, notice the surface your thighs are making contact with. Again, just noting if it's a hard surface, if it's soft. Bring all your attention into your knees. Just give your knees a lot of love for all the work they do. These are hard-working joints. And notice any sensation in your knees. You're just noticing, not labeling it as good, as bad, just observing it. Now bring your awareness down your shins, down your calf muscles, back down your shins, down onto the tops of your feet. Just notice any sensations on the tops of your feet. Maybe it feels cool or warm. Bring all your awareness into your toes. Imagining you're acknowledging each toe as you're giving this awareness. Now bring your awareness down onto the soles of your feet, the arches of your feet, your heels. And really ground through your feet. Feel that connection. This is where we started. This is where we conclude our practice. I like to close my practice by bringing one hand on my chest, one on my belly, and setting an intention for the rest of my day. And if you do this more than once a day, you could set an intention each time or check in with your intention. What does your body need today for you to be more kind to it? Once you set your intention and you've let it sit, you can open your eyes up if you had them closed and look around the room. Just reorient yourself wherever you're at. And continue with your day. Yeah.
Girl, I forgot what I was doing for a minute. Forgot I was on a podcast doing an interview. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that. For those who are listening, watching, definitely do that with us. It worked. I really did enjoy it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Definitely. One thing that I think is relative, or that we should do more in dispatch, is breathe.
Yeah.
Just the simple part of breathing in and out. Those 3 breaths, last one being the deep one. We go from like high anxiety situation to flat, to high anxiety to flat. So being aware of taking that breath in between those, especially like radio dispatch, going from like a stolen vehicle call to, a weapons call, being on the call taker side, a suicidal caller or a shooting. The anxiety goes up, down. It's not a gradual rise. It's like, we're here and we're not here anymore. So I think definitely being mindful and taking those breaths and taking those moments that you need in between the calls and using those tools, simply like the ones you just had me go through with you, will be helpful even during the workday.
Oh, absolutely. You could take so many parts. You could break that up in so many ways, right? Like the breathing. That in itself is grounding. So if you're, and it doesn't, you could do that as you work. The bringing your shoulders away from your ears. We have this tendency to, so I was doing a meditation and they called it their shoulder earrings. So we have this tendency to really stress something and we hold all this tension here, or just like a quick scan of your face and softening around your eyes, or really rooting your feet. If you're stressed out or you're feeling overwhelmed or there's a difficult color, just regrouping, right? Regrounding, or just the contact with the chair. As you said, we're sitting quite a while and just, but do we remember we're sitting? I don't know.
That's true.
Sometimes we're not necessarily completely aware of our physical body. And it's not just dispatchers, it's pretty common. So, but it can be really useful to like reground, or just reorient, just like looking around the room can be. So yes, you could break it up many, many ways, and they're all helpful for our job as dispatchers.
Awesome.
So thanks for that observation. I'm glad you noticed that. That delights me. That makes me really happy.
No, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've done yoga before. I enjoy it. I don't do it as much as I would like to. But I mean, like I said, I'm becoming more and more aware of how important wellness is in life, and especially in this line of work. So even that small meditation that we did, I'm going to put that in my dispatch tool belt and utilize that, when I need to.
Good.
So I definitely enjoyed it, and I appreciate you taking me through that.
Fantastic. I'm glad you hear that. I'm glad it's going to be on your tool belt.
It is. It definitely will be.
That makes me happy to
I'm all
imagine.
about handing out tools. I'm all about us exchanging our tool belts because, we all know you're 11 years in. I'm 2 years in. We all learn something new every day. I mean, there's not a day that I go into work and don't learn something new or hear, a coworker ask a question a way I haven't asked it, or hear them ask something specifically that I wouldn't think to ask. And then I hear it, I'm like, why haven't I asked that before? Outside our basic, 5 W's, like the way people ask questions and the things that come up to them that don't necessarily come up to you. I mean, it's inspiring. I mean, I learn something new every day. So I think us in the dispatch community who are, trying to empower each other and trying to give out that knowledge that we possess to each other, I'm all for taking tool belts and handing tools out. I love that exchange. I love learning new things every day.
I like it. I like your imagery, exchanging tools. I like it. I support it.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to cover that we missed, we glanced over, we didn't
I
spend
enjoyed
enough
those
time on?
meditations so much, and I'm just like,
I know. I'm ready to take on the rest of my day.
I'm really chill. No, I think we covered so much. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. No, thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate you wanting to, share all the tools you got with, people who are following me. And, I look forward to us connecting again in the future.
Yes, me too.
Awesome.
Me too.
Again, everyone, this is Luz Martinez, Dispatch Wellness on Instagram, dispatchwellness.com. If you are not following her, you are missing out. So make sure to go do that right now. So we're gonna sign off for now. If you like the video, of course, subscribe so you don't miss out. And follow, all that good stuff. Luz, anything before we go?
Just thank you to whoever joined. Thank you for being here, and reach out. I love hearing from everyone. So please, yes, reach out, and thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you, Luz. And here's the outro, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. So thanks for listening. Don't want to miss any upcoming episodes? Go ahead and subscribe wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. And if you really enjoy the show, drop a 5-star rating and tell a friend. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at The Raspy Dispatcher, and of course, theraspydispatcher.com. Control, this is The Raspy Dispatcher. Show me 908. Log it off for now.